So it's BBC Radio Bristol on Madonna's birthday, playing Vogue as she turns 65 years old today. Happy birthday, Madge. And of course, over the years since that first single back in 1983, Holiday, that launched her career, 40 years later, set to embark on a world tour, somewhat delayed due to her recovery from a bacterial infection. But the Greatest Hits tour will start in London. It's the Celebration Tour on October the 14th. She is the Queen of Pop, or is she? Do you think so? Or who is your all-time favourite artist? Let's take your calls. You come join the conversation. 08000 855 949. We'll start with Jamie in Stokes Croft. Jamie, you're a super fan.
Hey, yes, I am. Certainly a super fan.
Why?
Because she was just so different. I mean, right from the start, I think Everybody was the first song I heard. I mean, if you look at how many records she sold, I think it's over 300 million. All the people that are influenced by her, changing her image and sound. She was right at the start of all the videos, and very influential on that. And I mean, have you ever seen her live? She's outstanding.
I have seen her live just once. I saw her in Cardiff probably about, it's got to be almost 20 years ago, I reckon.
Right, Sticky and Sweet, probably, or something. If you go back to Blonde Ambition, I mean, that was groundbreaking, that show. That was my first ever concert, and it was just amazing. If you look at that now, you know, people still talk about it.
What is the secret, do you think, to her longevity? How has she lasted for, 40 years?
Well, because she makes pure popular music, and popular music sells.
And how much of it is about reinvention and changing your style, changing your image, changing your sound, and keeping modern and keeping up to date?
I don't think she has reinvented herself. I think she's just literally developed as an artist, as simple as that. I think that's all the media that put all the reinvention. She's just not repeating herself, is she? She was even dictating music and fashion for a time. If you look at Vogue, which you've just played, I mean, she really caught the moment of the whole ballroom scene with that song.
And what about the sound that she's had? Because her sound has changed over the decades. You know, the early stuff, Cherish and Material Girl and Papa Don't Preach, as things moved on, there was definitely, when the trap music came along, I remember that one, that was a very different direction. So do you prefer the early 80s stuff or the newer modern stuff?
I just like a lot of it. Yeah,
you love it all, I can tell.
The progression. I love her. Yeah. I mean, if you look at her Madam X album, for instance, which didn't do incredibly well, but it's an outstanding album. If somebody else, a new person, releasing that album, I'm sure it would have been, very highly rated.
What about more recent stuff, though? Because she has given us a glimpse of some sort of risky photos as she's got older. Some are saying, well, maybe you shouldn't be doing that at the age that you are. How do you feel about that?
Well, they never ever go at men, do they?
Well, that's true.
Why not? Why can't she grow up gracefully?
Embrace it.
Yeah. People are obsessed with just knocking people down. I think her confidence has always been a massive threat to everyone. Not everyone, but, if you look at, all of the women that wanted to be her, all of the men fancied her back in the day, I'm talking, and all the gays, us gays, we just idolized her. She spoke to us. She was a very strong woman. She was girl power, really, before the Spice Girls.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Those words, girl power.
You're currently, I believe, performing right now in your band at the GreenMan Festival. You're not the only one in your band that is a fan of Madge, though, are you? Oh,
no, I've got, my mate Richard here, but he's setting up our music, probably to play Madonna. We've got a big sound system. We're not actually performing here. We run a thing called the Disco Tent, but that's not programmed by GreenMan.
Okay.
We just do that in it ourselves.
Well, I'm sure Madonna will sneak in there on her birthday. She turns 65. And lastly, with the tour, we know it's the Celebration Tour. It's her first ever Greatest Hits tour. Starts in London on October the 14th. Are you going?
I didn't get a ticket because they were a ridiculous price, but I am down on some ballot to get
all right.
one. Yeah, from like some sort of carers thing. So fingers crossed for that. Unless
Fingers
somebody
crossed.
wants to send me one, they're more than welcome. Two, please.
Okay, well, the appeal is out there. We'll see what comes back. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, you're very welcome. Cheers.
Joe Lima.
BBC Radio Bristol.